Greetings on a very cool Wednesday afternoon, and this is my Wednesday ramblings. As usual, saying a little bit about the upcoming scriptures for this weekend, the feast of the Ascension. It's a little known fact that back in 1951, the Ascension was actually the 3rd of May, the day I was born. It has never happened again, and it won't happen again because the 3rd of May doesn't fall, and the Feast of the Ascension don't fall on a Sunday any time in living history, at least in my history. So, Feast of the Ascension is a day when, in Mark's Gospel, the disciples are given their commission to go out to be the people who take the message to all the world, and it's not quite as elaborate as it's spoken of in Matthew's Gospel, obviously, but it's still a commission. It's part of what many people would say is an addition to the end of Mark's Gospel, and so therefore the language is a little bit different, and some of the suggestions are a little bit over the top. Like, it tells us that we can pick up snakes without being harmed, and we can drink deadly poison. So it's one of those questions that you hear sometimes. Do not try these things at home. But it's still a reminder to us that with the Lord there is a promise that He will care for us. The other thing about it is it's the final week of the message series, Now What? And it picks up the last of the themes about we're a community that's open to renewal. And that's a very challenging kind of process, because being open to renewal actually means that we recognise the call to change, the need to change. And that's not always easy, because one of the things that happens in our story is that we would tend to like things to be just the way they are, and we're much more comfortable when things are just the way they are. We know, however, that that's a dream rather than a possibility. So today, as we prepare, for, at least on this Wednesday, as we prepare for the celebration this weekend, we're reminded that being open to renewal, to reform, is a very real challenge, and it's one that we must constantly address. We can't keep going backwards, we need to go forwards. Sometimes that's going to be challenging, sometimes it's going to take us out of our comfort zone, but always it's going to be a movement that's guided by the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit, who is calling us to see how the movement of love works in our world today. And while I look forward to the challenges, my prayer is that people will actually experience something of what our God is inviting us to be part of. A relationship with Him, a relationship that leads us to new life, and especially a relationship that leads our parish to be a witness and an example of what God's message of salvation means to the world. That we meet Him in the everyday, and that we can lead others to find Him in the midst of their life. Have a great week. It's not looking that warm or comfortable here in Tasmania, but I hope that over these next few days you too can find some comfort in the knowledge that the Lord is leading us into something new and something glorious in His name. Take care, and God bless.